Bruno, welcome to Fishterviews. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. I'm fishing. You got a lot of fish already. I got nothing.
Sometimes it's called fishing, not catching.
It's all about. That's interesting. It's an interesting way of looking at it. It's about the fishing, not the catching.
Exactly. I grew up little small lore. I grew up with a dad who loved to fish, and I spent a lot of time fishing, and that was something he always said. Because it was more about the
Really? Oh,
experience of going fishing and hanging out than it was about actually catching fish. Although, of course, if
yeah.
you can catch fish, that's very fun.
That's what I'm imagining. Like my dad also used to take me fishing,
Hmm.
and he used to say something like that. I always thought that maybe it's because we never got that much stuff,
Hmm.
but I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe not. Maybe it's not about that.
Yeah, it could obviously be a way to be like, oh, oh well, it's not about the fish, but
Yeah,
I like to think of it in the more positive light of it's about the experience.
yeah. I do enjoy. I recently I went fishing with my dad.
Hmm.
Yeah, I haven't gone in years, and we had the chance like this year, and we only got one fish, but I still really enjoyed just like I don't know. It takes me back like this
Hmm.
thing of fishing. I can 100% see it now. Maybe now that I am an adult, I can see it. We were just sitting
Hmm.
at the beach fishing.
Yeah, the few times I've been fishing now as an adult, I've really, really enjoyed the experience. I've been like, this is weirdly relaxing. And it's sort of fun to just hang out, even if you don't catch anything. But
Yes.
well, small fishing tangent aside, Bruno, could you introduce yourself to everyone who may not know you?
Introduce myself. Well, I'll introduce myself in the same way that I always introduce myself, which is this. My name is Bruno, and I am from a small country called Uruguay, which is located between Argentina and Brazil, in South America. And that's me. That's me. I am a Minecraft content creator. Um, I don't know. I think that's me. That's what I got, Mol.
That's it. All right. Well, thank you so much. So, I like to start off doing this by asking a couple of silly questions just to break the ice, not serious questions at all.
Okay,
You have
okay.
two cats, correct?
I do have two cats.
If your cats could talk, what do you think they would say to you?
I think first I wait. I said I had two cats, but I didn't. I was not polite. Small cats. My cats are called Chichulo and Chispita, and if they could talk, I don't know. I don't know what they will say, but I will be in trouble. That's 100%. I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that.
I think that checks out because when I wrote this question, I was thinking about my answer to it, and I was like, yeah, if my cats could talk, I would be in trouble. Like, I
Yeah.
they would have concerns, I think, about just me as a person. So,
Yeah, but also like they will be continuously like food. I want food. Hello,
mhm.
Bruno. Hello, I want food. Like stuff like that. They will like Chispita will not stop talking all day. I'm sure.
Is she a real chatter then?
Yes, she kind of talks. She does mama mama and things like that like all the time.
That's so funny because our cats are very quiet cats, and I have not had like a yapper cat in a long time, and I kind of miss it, but I also kind of don't because the
Yeah.
screaming for food at 3 a.m. is not the best.
Yeah. No, but if they could, I don't know. Luckily, they will never talk. I don't know, but hopefully not.
If they didn't develop, sorry, blah, 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 I can't talk. If scientists made something that would allow your cats to talk to you, but like not all the time, like you could switch it on and off, would you use it?
Yes, I think yeah. I'm just too curious. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love my cats, and I think like I would like to hear what they have to say. And I'm imagining that yes, even though it will get me in trouble, like overall it will be interesting. It will be a positive experience. Even though yeah, I like to keep the power of turning it off.
Yeah, so that you can save yourself from the 3 a.m. Feed me, feed me.
Yeah, yeah. But you said that it will be a thing for the cats to talk to me, but like, will it make them understand me or
I
no?
would hope so. I think in my head it would. You would definitely be able to have a conversation. That's
Okay,
what I would
so I
want
could
it to
tell them
do.
it's 3 in the morning. You're not gonna get food now. I could communicate back with them. That okay.
Hmm. It's yeah, but you
We're
never
in.
know. I don't think they would listen. I just have a feeling that cats would be like, "Oh, nah, I'm not gonna pay attention to that."
Yeah. I feel like it will be really interesting to have conversations with them, like 100%. See
Hmm.
what they have to like. Ask them about stuff.
Yeah, I would love to know, like, my cats, I don't know if yours do this. I'm sorry we're like totally off on a cat tangent, but my cats do this thing sometimes where they just like stare into like a dark room, like real spoopy, and I'm like, what do you see? Like, I want to know. Like, is my house haunted
Yes.
and the cats know about it? Like, I want to know.
Chichulo doesn't do that, but Chispita is like, but she's looking like very intense, like in a very intense way at something. Like she's not just look, she's like with her
Yeah.
eyes wide open, like staring at something. And I'm
Hmm.
like, what? Like I don't know if that's them trying to listen or if they truly can see something.
Right? Yeah, I'd love to know. Like, my curiosity, I couldn't help myself. I'd have to know.
Yes, I feel the same way. I will just have to do it.
What song do you currently have stuck in your head or are you obsessed with?
What song? I have an interesting relationship with music.
Hmm.
I was a musician,
Yes, I
and I
did
am a
know.
musician, I guess. Like it was my job before the pandemic. I like I will perform live music, and I will like teach people. I was a guitar teacher and stuff,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I always had a very interesting relationship with music, and I have periods in which I don't listen. I know this is strange. Like I'm always listening to something, but I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that likes random YouTube videos, YouTube music videos. Like YouTube recommends me something random and I listen to it. I don't know
Gotcha. So
what
you're not like a
I
playlist
discovered.
curator.
No, I'm not. I don't have Spotify. I think I had it installed for a while on my phone, but then I do YouTube music, which is strange.
I'm always surprised when people do that because I personally love to curate a playlist. Oh, that's a frog. And kind of have like I can listen to a specific song because, and I don't know why I do this, but I'll listen to like the same song over and over and over because I just
Oh,
that's whatever
I've
song I'm
had that.
obsessed with. But yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I like the idea of listening to something new,
Hmm.
and kind of like getting hooked with something new, like something that because I don't know, I'm not the kind of people that listens to the same albums. Like I had a period of my life where it was like that, but I like listening to new music and kind of like learning to because you listen music because you find something of you in
Hmm.
that music, right? Like there's something that you can it relate to in a sense or you identify with in a song.
Hmm.
And they like to be open. I know this is going deeper into music, but I feel like I don't know. You kind of by broadening the music that you can relate to, you broaden yourself. You broaden yourself. You broad. I made up a word. You kind of broaden yourself in a sense.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if that makes
absolutely.
sense.
It does make sense. I too listen to a lot of different types of music, and I think finding new things to listen to and new genres of music, especially, and especially if they're from maybe like a different culture, is a great way to sort of learn new things.
Yes. Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
So, Bruno, you were a musician. How did you, kind of a two-part question, how did you become a musician or get into music? And do you feel that being a musician prepared you to be a content creator slash streamer?
Okay, well, start with the last question. Yeah, 100%. I feel like they are kind of like the same. Not, I don't know. I feel like there are points in common. And that also answers your first question. I feel like there are things about being a musician, maybe also particularly about being a performing musician, that really helped me as a content creator, because like you can be a musician in very different ways, right? You can compose music, you can record music, you can, and what I will do the most is play live in front of an audience. And live streaming, like I do video stuff too,
Hmm.
but I stream also like 5 times a week. And like you are performing in front of an audience, even if you don't feel it like a performance, right? It's what you are doing. And I feel like there are certain things that definitely help me, which, for example, like a thing I had a lot of trouble with as a musician, as a performing musician in my early musician years, is that I would get really nervous when I was about to play music, right? Or when I getting on top of the stage or whatever, I will get really nervous, and like if I made a mistake in a solo or whatever, I will just be like for the whole gig, I will be thinking about that, and I will start not having a good time.
Hmm.
And like with time, I understood that like people can see that. Like if you are not having fun, people will people will perceive that, will sense that,
Hmm.
and that's what you'll transmit to them. And I feel like it's the same with live streaming. Like you need to be enjoying what you do in order to communicate joy to people. You can't like I don't know. That's like a very personal way thing about streaming, that I feel like I need to be doing something that I enjoy if I
Hmm.
want people to enjoy what I'm doing.
Oh, absolutely. People we as humans are so dependent on like kind of that subtle communication in terms of body language and things like that. And we pick up on when people aren't enjoying themselves. And even if you're a faceless creator, you can hear it through people's voices if they're not having a good time. But if you go into
Yes,
someone's
a
stream and they're
100%.
enjoying themselves, you're gonna have a great time, you know?
I feel like it's more like you cannot communicate an emotion that you are not feeling. That's
Hmm.
how I see it. Like, you cannot communicate joy if you are not enjoying what you're doing.
That's a
And
really good
yes,
way to
as you
put it.
said, like people can tell, like consciously or unconsciously, they can tell if you are not having fun, for example.
Absolutely. Having been a musician pre-COVID, how did you end up as a content creator?
Well, the problem with COVID, with the pandemic, was that it was it particularly hurt performing musicians, right?
Hmm.
I was in a Beatles tribute band, among other
Okay.
things, and that was my main gig. And we will perform live music by the Beatles. Like that's that's what we'll do. We will disguise as Beatle people, and like it was great. I was George. I will disguise as George and play with the same guitars as George, and like have like a Beatles wig and stuff. But like all that makes sense from the perspective of playing in front of a live audience, right? Because I don't know, you can record the Beatles songs. I mean, you can, but it's not gonna sound. You are always gonna be at the like you're gonna be below or at the same level than the Beatles. And you're always gonna be below. Let's be honest. Like you're never
Hmm.
gonna get to Beatles level. So like everybody that listens to that is gonna like I don't know. I feel like it's going to be. I don't know. Oh, I could. Why not just listen to the Beatles? So it was a live performing thing, and that like with the pandemic that disappeared. Suddenly, like we didn't have any job offers, like at all.
Hmm.
And also, like I was a music teacher, and education was another thing that took a great hit with the pandemic, right? I remember having some students on video call, and it was not the same. Like I don't know, you could
Hmm.
tell. Like I remember I had a student. She broke down in a call and started crying.
Oh
Like
no.
it was terrible, like because she couldn't we had classes for like years. She was my student for like a couple of years,
Hmm.
and I think she couldn't like nothing. She just didn't like the video calls stuff. So sadly, I had a lot of free time. I also worked on retail on my dad's business. So I had three jobs two out of those three jobs like were destroyed or were gone, right?
Hmm.
For who knows how long. So I had a lot of free time essentially. Um, it's not like I went to content creation and said, okay, let's make it a job or something. Like, but I don't know. I had free time. I always loved playing games, so I knew I was going to play games. And I said, why not just play with other people? I don't know. And talking with other people. I remember I watched some of the hermits streaming, and I said, okay, why not just try streaming? And I started streaming. When I started, I streamed every day, like 10 p.m. my time. At the beginning, I remember it was kind of like English, training my English, because English is not my native language. I don't know if you can tell, but um, nothing. I was just practicing my English, like speaking in English. That was it for me. Yeah, one thing led to another, and now it's nothing. I'm a full-time content creator. It's what I do. Uh, I don't know. I feel like people sometimes they just get too attached to labels, in the sense that, okay, I'm this. If I will have said, okay, I'm a musician or I'm a music teacher or whatever, I will never have explored streaming or taking it seriously in any
Hmm.
way. I feel like, I don't know. You just gotta be open.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like there are many things in common with like the reasons why I became a musician are kind of like the same reasons why I make content today, which is doing something I enjoy, but also that like brings joy to other people. You communicate with the audience. It's like streaming is a very human interaction focused thing
Hmm.
in a sense, which is also the same with live music too. It's
Yeah.
about you playing in front of the audience, right, and sharing that moment.
Absolutely. There's like pointing it out, there's so many similarities between performing live music and streaming, in the sense that you have to really be enjoying yourself, obviously, and selling your experience to the audience, and communicating your emotions to them, and kind of what's the word I'm looking for, like relating to them on a level, so that they can have an
Yes.
enjoyable experience with you. So it makes a lot of sense that you would have made that sort of transition career wise.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same. Not the same. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's other musicians that
They're
take
like
it.
cousins,
That
maybe.
Yes, like they interact. Maybe some people interact with music in a different way, right? Like it's art. Our interaction with art is very personal. It depends on everyone, on each one of us, I should say. But I found stuff in common, things in common, and maybe even like some of the reasons why I was a musician. They are more present in streaming,
Hmm.
maybe. So I don't know. It was natural for me to make. I think it's not that at one point I said, "Okay, I'm gonna stop being this and now become this." It just kind of happened.
Hmm. Would you ever consider doing a music stream, like a completely music
Well,
focused stream?
I did Twitch things once
Okay.
on the last day. I don't know if that counts, but I don't know. It's been a while because being a musician, particularly a performing musician, is a lot. You do a lot of training. It's kind of
Hmm.
like being a bodybuilder in a sense. Like you need to I will practice every day. Like I had a routine that I went through every day. I was continuously like learning new Beatles songs and stuff, because our goal was to play exactly like the Beatles, right? For
Hmm.
example, in that band. So I will have, okay, I'm working on this song and this other song now, and like, yeah, George's solo did this. So how did he do this? And just um a lot of it was like taking a small fragment from a song and playing it over and over and over in a very slow tempo, and slowly raising the tempo until I could play it at actual tempo, at the song's tempo.
So really forming
Um,
like a muscle memory for the music that you're playing.
yes, yeah, you need to learn the. It's very hard. Like it's not common. It's not that at one point you become good enough that you can play all the songs, right? It's like you need to continuously learn songs if you want to play them.
Hmm.
That's how I at least that's my experience with music. So like now it's been a while since I've done that. I'm probably quite out of shape.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I thought I'll do a music stream.
Well, never say never. You never know.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, you
a
never
certain
know. You
cat
never
might
know.
whisper some around the community that we should all ask Bruno to do a music stream. You never know. Hmm.
Okay.
When you became a content creator, did you start off playing Minecraft or did you play other
Yes.
games?
It's strange because I always played all kinds of games. But I started with Minecraft and I stick to Minecraft. And the only one the one stream I did something different was that Twitch things.
Hmm.
And then I stream only Minecraft. And Minecraft is a game that I play mostly on stream too. Or if I'm recording a video now.
Hmm.
Like it's not something I do in my free time, let's say. Um, and also I don't know. I haven't played that many games lately. I don't feel like I don't know if not have the time is the proper way to call it. I don't know. I have other things I do with my time. I do have a list of games on my bucket list, but I don't know. I feel like Minecraft is so good for streaming.
Hmm.
Like you can do whatever. Like we are fishing now. I know we are not streaming, but this could be a stream. It's like
Oh, yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, we've done a Fishterview live. So, in the past.
Nice.
But yeah, Minecraft is almost the perfect stream game. It's there's not so much going on. It's not usually so fast paced that you can't talk to chat. It's really easy to sort of control the environment and interact with people. Like it's and also you get to build cool stuff sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like it's strange that you find yourself in the at least for me in the spot where you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do today on stream. And even if you do, like you find something to do
Hmm.
on the stream. It's you never not have something to do. Like that's how I feel like.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what build you want to do, you can always go exploring and try to find a deep dark, or mine a bunch of sand because you're out, or reorganize your storage. There's a million things you can do in
Yes,
Minecraft at any given
exactly,
time.
exactly.
I was asking, let's talk about your Minecraft playstyle because, in my opinion, you have a very specific playstyle and you play very specific types of Minecraft that are a bit unusual. So, what?
Really,
Yes,
I never had. What is my playstyle, Small? Because I
you.
do yes.
I feel like you choose the most crazy challenges for the sake of challenging yourself as much as you can. Like
I feel
you're the
like
type of
that's
person
okay.
who wants to push themselves to the limit in the game.
Yes, 100%, 100%. But I don't know. I feel like my playstyle has changed. I don't know if you have because I used to play half-hearted hardcore,
Yes.
which is quite an extreme. It's hardcore to the extreme. Like you can't take any damage at least for the beginning. Like then you get a couple of things that help you. But in the beginning, it's like you can make one mistake essentially. Like that was the spirit of the game. You cannot make one mistake, and
Hmm.
that was really exciting. I felt like it was challenging. Um, but yeah, relating to my playstyle, like I don't know if I because that is kind of like in the background, right?
Hmm.
And then seeing what you can do with that. And I did everything essentially. Like I fought a wither one like I 1v1 a wither with half a heart.
Yeah.
I built farms and I did whatever. Um, but for example, like now I'm taking a more chill approach. I'm playing survival for the first time ever.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's more about the building and what you can do in a survival world and I don't know. I feel like I always like challenging myself. Like I remember there was a point in which I challenged myself to build in survival without planning. Right? I've seen some really good builders that will do that. They will just go and get started, and they will build something. I like. And for the longest time, it was like a creative builder. I will build in creative and then take it to survival, right?
Hmm.
And I saw that these people that build in survival, they were like really good at what they did. It's not that they built like dirt hats. They built really nice stuff. And they also did it like relatively quickly. It's not like they were a month with a build. So nothing. I decided I wanted to try that, to try my hand at that. And for a very long time, I built in survival. Um, I don't know. I never thought about myself. I don't think it's the same that with being a musician or being a content creator. Like I don't like putting labels on myself
Hmm.
because I feel like in the end that limits you in a sense. Like if I feel like I want to build and I want to improve my building, I'll do that. If I feel like I also like redstone a lot.
Hmm.
I don't know, try to play with a mechanic and build a farm or build a mechanism or something. I'll just do that. It is a bit about seeing if I can do it too, right? But I feel like the biggest obstacle between you not doing something is you thinking that you can't. Like if you try to do stuff, you'll find a way to do it. Maybe not like what you were expecting, but that's also not. Maybe it's not the best. Like you need to kind of embrace what happens, right? I
Hmm.
feel.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think sometimes we as Minecrafters limit ourselves. I'm speaking specifically about Minecraft, but you'll hear people be like, "Oh, I'm a redstoner. I'm a hardcore player. I'm a builder," and we sort of put ourselves into these little boxes, and then we don't challenge ourselves to step out of them. I mean, I fall into that trap sometimes too, where I'm like, "Oh, I'm a builder. Like, I don't really redstone," and then when I try to do redstone, I'm like, "Okay, like I don't really know what I'm doing, but like it's not terrible." I could figure this out if I
Exactly.
put
Like
time and effort into it. I just don't, you know?
it's 100%. Like I feel like I've seen it in many directions. The main are like I'm a redstoner or I'm a builder. Like oh no, I'm not a builder. I can't build anything that's nice. I've heard many people say that. And
Hmm.
it's like I doubt it. Like why are you assuming that you can't do something? There's a lot in play into that, right? Like
Hmm.
judgment. There is a lot about judgment, about how other people are going to perceive what I do, and I feel like so I'm not even gonna try it, right? Like that's their mindset. I feel like if you start with a mindset of oh I will never understand redstone, like it's not my thing. It just makes my head explode. Like it's not that hard really. Like if you just go get into it, like I don't know, kids learn redstone. It's not I don't
Hmm.
know, right? And kids build and that's an amazing thing about being a kid, which is like they just go for the thing. They just do the stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't stop and wonder. Oh, but this is a redstone thing, and I'm a builder. I doubt it. No, they just go and try their best, and their best. Um, Usually it's not that bad. Like I'm not gonna say it's the best thing ever, but it's usually as you said, like you try your hand at redstone and hey, you got something that works. Maybe it's not the most compact, or maybe it's not the most whatever, the most efficient in some way. Hey, but hey, it's like a thing in your world that you made out of nothing.
Hmm.
That it maybe you even thought that you couldn't do. I feel like there's value in that.
Yeah. I mean, it's the sort of thing of there's value in trying something and having it not work out, right? Let's for example, in real life science, how many things have we discovered in the world because we tried something, it didn't work, and then we tried something else? We
Yes.
would have
Yeah. Exactly.
none of the advancements we have would have as a society if people hadn't tried things. And you got to do that in as well in Minecraft if you want to kind of grow as a player.
Yeah, I feel like it goes beyond Minecraft for science. It's more it's an overall attitude. I feel like
Hmm.
of embracing just new stuff and being able to because a lot of people have issues with like that kind of like student mindset of oh I don't know nothing about this. Not knowing or showing that they don't know, like they are not comfortable with that. And I feel like that's the way you grow actually. Like you go and you don't know how to do something. That's how you get started. Like, you start
Hmm.
by not knowing and then you learn, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We all start out not knowing how to really do anything, and we learn ourselves or someone teaches us. And then we go out and we gain more experience after that. So, no, I
Yes.
100% agree. There's so many things that I never thought I'd be able to do that I've gone out and taught myself to do with a book or a YouTube video or, a whatever. And, if you stop pushing yourself to do that, I think it's really a loss.
Yeah, like I think you touched on a point. Now it's easier than ever
Hmm.
to you just Google a tutorial on whatever and you learn it. Like I recently started doing fermented foods in my house.
Okay.
I know it's a strange thing,
It's not.
like
My,
doing
my partner is also one of those people, and our house is full of
really.
suspicious jars of things. Yes.
Oh, dude, yes. Like I have jars too, and I have started things, and amazing. What does he do? I want to know now, and I want to talk with your partner now.
He often has mead brewing in our house. He makes all types of pickles and things like that. He's
I see.
does sourdough, has dabbled in the kombucha thing a little bit.
Oh,
So he makes a lot
I
of
do kombucha.
interesting foods. Yeah. The kombucha is great. I support. It's
I
delicious.
do mate kombucha. You can do it with tea, but you can do it with you know that over here in South America we drink a lot of something called mate
Yes.
tea, which is a different. It's like a different leaf than regular tea,
Hmm.
and you can do kombucha with that too. So I do that.
What does that taste like?
I don't know how to because kombucha is kind of acid, right? It has
Hmm.
it's got an acid taste. So
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know. I
almost
love it.
vinegary a little bit,
Yes,
like and fruity. Yeah.
I also make vinegar too. I learned it's all stuff I learned this year. That's the point I wanted to hammer on.
Hmm.
Like I just Google tutorials. I just search in YouTube tutorials how to do this. I learned by myself. I didn't do any course or I didn't like I just learned by trying stuff. And like for example, yesterday I bottled a lemon vinegar and I have done apple vinegar and I have done raisin vinegar and I am brewing a an orange vinegar and turns out you can do vinegar of anything.
Hmm.
Like we are used to like alcohol vinegar or vinegar like apple cider vinegar, but that's it. But that's what we have available. But you can do vinegar of whatever
Hmm.
and nothing. And like I had to learn a lot about because I like getting into stuff, and I don't know. I had to learn about because I started researching fermented foods for the gut microbiome, and I started learning about microbes and about how the process of fermentation is and how different fermentations work. And when you do vinegar, there's a bacteria that eats the sugar and turns it into alcohol, and then there's another bacteria that comes and eats the alcohol and turns it into vinegar, not into vinegar, sorry, into acetic acid. Like that's the process, and I don't know. You generate a how's it called? A selective environment
Hmm.
because I have some terms in Spanish too, like entorno selectivo. The idea behind fermenting is that you create a selective environment and like you make it so only the bacteria you want can grow.
Hmm.
Because if you just leave stuff there, like all kinds of bacteria grow.
Yeah.
But
Ones
nothing.
that
All
you
this
do
to
not
say
want.
that yes, exactly. There are some good bacteria and there are like fermenting is essentially stuff getting rotten, but like in a controlled way.
Hmm.
It- that's how I like to think about it. Like there's a certain type of bacteria that develops and does something that you want. But all this to say that I don't know. That's something I like. If you ask me on December of last year that I was gonna get so much into fermenting, I would never have guessed it.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I just learned that it's good to eat fermented foods for this and that, and I just got into it. I never wondered if am I gonna be able to do this or no. I just search on YouTube like I don't know a sauerkraut making tutorial and like
Hmm.
turns out it's easy, and I just gave it a go. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the first time I ate it, I was a little bit like, "Oh, dude, am I going to die? Is this the last thing I do?" But no, I'm still here. So nothing. I feel like I like having that attitude with a lot of different things. Just to
Mhm.
be open. Just I don't know, something interests you. Go and pursue that interest.
Yeah.
And don't assume stuff beforehand. Like, oh, this is something I won't be able to do. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we can sometimes be our own greatest hindrance in terms of
Yes, I
trying
feel
new
like that
things.
is 100% true. I feel like there's a lot of people that just think I'm not gonna be able to do this or that, or I'm not gonna be able to play music or sing or whatever, or stream, or I'm not gonna be able to do redstone, or like, why would you assume that?
Hmm.
It's not even smart to assume that you can predict what's going to happen, because the universe is a very complex system. So like, you are saying that you can predict. You're not that smart. You're not like. I guess you have a scientist side, right? Like, you're not that smart as to predict what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, no, I
Like,
can't tell the future. Like,
like, that's why we, like, as a scientist, like, people do experiments, right? Because okay, they have a hypothesis, like the scientific method. You first generate a hypothesis, and then you devise an experiment that will try that hypothesis, right? And then you
hmm.
do the experiment, and then you see if your hypothesis was true. Like, you don't just stay at the hypothesis. Okay, I think this is, and you just stay there. Like, I feel like that is not the scientific way to
Yeah.
to approach
If that's
anything.
how we did
I know
things, we
we
would still think that like the Earth was flat and that oh gosh, I'm trying to think of like one of the or like gravity was caused by something crazy. I'm trying to remember what the original theory that caused gravity was. It was something really
gravity. I
wacky.
think it was something like things tend to go towards their natural state.
Yeah,
I feel like it
that's
was
it. That's
something,
it.
and
Yeah.
like, you by lifting something off the floor, you were like reversing. You were taking stuff away from their natural state. I don't know. It was something like that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But I'm just laughing at the idea of that, like, the chair on the ground, that is where it wants to be and it will go back.
Exactly,
The chair has a
exactly.
mind of its
But
own.
I know, like, it's. I think that many people understand this, but I feel like there is a barrier that is hard for some people to cross. Which is like, one thing is understanding something, and another thing is being actionable about that thing you understand, right? Like, one thing is to understand that, oh, you can learn stuff, and you are your greatest hindrance or whatever. But you gotta act on that. Like, you gotta
Hmm.
follow your thoughts with actions in order to actually get stuff done, right?
Hmm. All right, Bruno, I want to change topics a little bit. I want to talk about community because I think you're someone who
Okay.
really values building community in what
Yes.
you've done on Twitch. Can you talk about kind of your approach to doing that and how you feel that has helped or hindered you as a creator?
Okay. I feel that, like, it all goes down to why you're doing what you're doing, I feel. And building community is about interacting with people, right? You're talking about people. It's nothing else. And providing a great experience, and like, I think maybe because I do it all myself. I do my streams, I do my videos, I do my community work, I do my servers, I do everything myself, right? So I do have that thing where, like, I need to ask myself, is this worth my time, right? Um, or I could be doing something else. I could be working on a video instead of like doing an event. But for me, it goes back to, like, why you're doing what you're doing, and I feel that one of the things I think a lot about with my community is that there are a lot of places online now where people go get together to fight, like, like social media and stuff. People just
Mm-hmm.
go to disagree and hate on each other, and like anonymously, like, say terrible things to each other and hate, and like, it's like a ball of hate, and people just go and just throw all that onto each other. And I like building a space that is the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's small, right? Even if it's just, the people from my community. But I feel that it's meaningful to build a space uh, that is kind of like fighting back at that in a sense. Like I'm making a Minecraft server. People just people from all over the world, people that don't know each other, that maybe even think different stuff, right? Because I know I have people in my community that think opposite things about all kinds of topics, and they are like I have people from all over the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but despite all those differences, because of the way I build the community, like people come together to have fun, right? And they disregard. It's kind of like the rules and the stuff I set. Kind of like make you like you need to respect each other, and we don't talk. You have to not talk about certain topics because certain topics are just too polarizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but just like for me, it's more like we don't focus on what makes us different. We focus on what makes us the same and try to lean into that and just play Minecraft and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that in the only way, I don't know if it hinders me. Maybe I spend too much time working on community stuff. I feel like in the end I do it because I want to do it, right? And again, it's a matter of meaning. Um, in a sense, because you can go like, oh, I could be making a video or whatever, and I could probably be uploading it and making more money or this or that. But I feel like something I had clear from when I was very young is that, and it's the reason why I became a musician too. It's like it's not just about getting by. Like my goal is to enjoy what I do, right? Um, and I
Mm-hmm.
find that getting people together, like it's something that I enjoy doing, and that also again, it's enjoying what you're doing, but also doing something that brings joy to others. So I feel like that because nothing can like if you organize a Minecraft event in a server and people go get together and have fun and they share like a couple hours of fun time, like that's something that no one can take away from you in a sense. Like that happened, you made that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody can delete that from existence in a sense. And I feel like that nothing. I made it happen. Like I don't know. I was able to do it. I was able to get different people and that maybe in other areas of life will hate each other or will be different or whatever. And we all just got together and played Minecraft. And that is something that I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm. I've had a similar conversation with other Fish Review guests where we talked about Minecraft being almost like the great uniter of people. It's like the perfect game to bring people together and to have a good time playing together because it's so collaborative and non-competitive kind of at its core. I mean, there are competitive forms of Minecraft, but it's mostly collaborative and it's like the perfect atmosphere to do like community projects.
Yes, yeah, I like it. It's a very synergistic game in a sense.
Hmm.
And that's also like I do two types of like events. Like I have my main server, right?
Hmm.
It's a long lasting server that resets every year. And I do like every 2 months, more or less, I do like something that I call the hardcore challenges, which is a 2 week server with people in hardcore, like it's in hardcore mode and whatever. And that kind of like forces people to collaborate. Like we're all together. We have we build like a village near spawn. Okay, I can build this farm and I can do this and I'll take care of villagers. And people like naturally collaborate. Um, because I don't know. I feel like okay, you'll die if you try doing all this stuff yourself. In a sense, maybe not, but you know.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's almost more fun if you work on those projects with other people and then you have that satisfaction of, oh yeah, me and this person, we did this together and now the whole community can use it, you know?
Yes, I feel like you hit the nail on the head there. Like you, with more people, you are able to do more stuff.
Hmm.
Like we did. I don't know if you've seen in the Steel SMP. We like last season. We had like a really big shopping district with like
Mm-hmm.
different biomes and stuff. Like it's a mega project. If you will do it yourself, like you will spend a long time. And everybody collaborated with like some people did the grind, like some people grinded diamonds, some people designed the thing, some people voted which was the definitive thing that we will do. And but you what I like is that in the end everybody feels that it's their project, right? They are all part of it. It's the thing, as you said, we did it together. It's our thing. Like because people are very used to seeing like mega content creators do mega builds and stuff like that, right? And that even though it's impressive, it kind of like sets a barrier between you and the creator you're watching. Like, no, I'll never be able to do that because I'm not talented, because I don't have the time, because this and that, right? And I feel that that is true if you are doing it yourself. But if you are on a server with other people, maybe if we all just put 2 hours of work or half an hour of work, whatever time you have, um, we can do really like mega builds and we can do crazy stuff and we can do it all together and everybody can feel that they did it, so they become a part of that too. I feel like that is a very powerful thing. Like it's very tangible in Minecraft how collaboration uh, is beneficial and it results in like better stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, and a lot of those sort of big mega projects that you're talking about, they're made possible because of an aspect of community collaboration. Like, for example, the hermits, they're not all by themselves sort of off in a corner, unless you're Doc M maybe, who builds all his own stuff. But
Yeah.
most of them have built like a specific type of farm, and they've all kind of taken sort of a chunk of that resource farming, right? And now they have a sort of a community economy that they all trade with each other or sell things to each other with. So they
Yes.
get these materials and the ability to do this because of an aspect of community collaboration. It's not that they're truly just doing this all on their own.
Yes, I feel like sometimes people misinterpret the whole economy thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's just an excuse to collaborate, really.
Yes.
Like that's what it's all about. And I had people in like in my community propose why we don't just have a lot of community farms instead of having a shopping district, right? Like we just have a lot of community farms and everybody can go and a community trading hall and a community this and that. And it sounds good in theory, but when you go to it sounds good in paper. But when you go to the practice, like having an economy, first, like you have an excuse to build a shopping district, to build like an area to exchange resources, like where everybody can build their shop, and a shop is like a creative outlet. It's not just like a chest with like the resources inside. It's like a whole thing, right? Like the district itself is a community project, and I don't know if you have something that you sell, it means that other people need it for their bills or for whatever, right? And then you get rewarded with diamonds that you can use to get other things you need from other people. So in the end, it's just an excuse to collaborate
Mm-hmm.
and nothing. I feel like it's in Minecraft at least it's really beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, I've played on servers with both of the different approaches, right? I've played on servers with an economy, like this one, for example, has an economy, or I play on homie server that has they've gone completely the community approach. Nothing is for sale. There's no diamond economy, and everything is shared between. And I think both of them have been very successful in doing so, and it's a lot of it's about the approach. If you approach the community kind of centered one without an economy from the aspect of, oh, we're all getting together to build these farms and to manage the resources and make sure everything sort of ends up in the communal pool, and then you working together on projects using those, you still manage to keep that aspect of collaboration without the diamond economy. But it's also very easily for it to become the sort of thing where you're sort of just off on your own little planet. A lot of it
Yes,
has to do with
I
kind of the community management aspect of running one of these things.
yes, I
I
feel
like to joke that
it's
streaming is community management. It's a community management
no, it is. I
simulator.
feel like it is like okay. I manage a community, and I'm guessing you too. Like I
Hmm.
have a server and I have a Discord server and I have you have like a Twitch community. That is community management. Like you need like a lot of the decisions we take are thinking about the community, the overall health of the community,
Hmm.
right? And where we want to take the community. So you are managing communities, like 100%.
Yeah.
Um, you are not just. I feel like a lot of people underestimate content creation in general.
Hmm.
But like if you are a YouTuber, like you need to record, edit, you need to also learn how to package your stuff. You put the music in, you do the mixing or whatever if you do, and if you are a streamer you like need to think about the content you're going to make, but you also need to, you are your own performer and you are your own community manager and you do this and that, like you do a lot of stuff. I think it's a multidisciplinary thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's everything you said, and sometimes even more things. It just managing the technology, sometimes having to learn all of the sort of tools that you
Yeah,
use
that
as a
you are your
streamer,
own
and
technician,
yeah, that
like
was what I've
100%,
struggled with
like
so
that.
much is the
I don't know.
technician
In the era
aspect.
of TV, in the era of like whatever, there's a role, there's a technician that takes care of that. It's not the TV announcer guy that takes care of setting the cameras, right?
Yeah,
But as a streamer, like you do all that.
yeah, you're basically a one person show.
Yes.
I mean, I love doing it, and I would do it again if I went back to kind of say that, oh, you know, would I become a streamer again? You know, 3 years ago, small cats. But I would definitely maybe take a more realistic approach of how much actual work goes into it, because I think it's really easy to like sort of watch the YouTube video that someone has made or the TikTok clip or whatever and go, oh, I could do that. And then when you get down into it and realize that like every minute of footage is like half an hour sometimes of time
Yes,
just
100%. I
building.
feel like it's easy to underestimate the work of others and think, oh, I could do that. Ah,
Hmm.
you think you will do that? Do it then. Like, why not? Why not?
This
Like,
is Bruno
it's a
issuing a
thing.
personal
It's
challenge to everyone. Just do it then.
well, but you, in a sense, you're saying, "Oh, I wish I would have thought more about it." No, like you need to go and give it a try and see what happens and learn along the way. You need to get started because if not, if you overthink again, you'll never get started. Um, so like, I do, I do think, and this is a touchy subject. I don't know if you like that in your interviews.
Oh, go crazy.
It's something about feedback and why I prefer taking feedback from other content creators. I do take feedback from everyone, but like that, like I consider more maybe like feedback from other content creators because they know what goes behind putting out a video.
Hmm.
And a lot of people just say, "Oh, you should have just done this," or "Oh, you why not just edit more like this person?" Or like, and there's so many variables that you are not
Oh.
able to see. Oh,
What the
I
hell?
got punched by something.
Yeah, it was a phantom. One sec, I'll sleep. We've been
Okay,
standing here for like 3 nights, so I guess that makes sense.
yes,
Oops.
I fish one. I fish one.
Well done.
Okay. Um,
Uh,
nothing. I feel that like it's I and with content creation and with everything, I feel like people are just too quick to underestimate other people's work, and the root of that is that you don't understand actually, like you don't know what goes behind what they do,
mhm.
and you are also not being able to recognize that you don't know, right? Like, okay, you need to understand that there's variables that you are not seeing, like you
Yeah.
don't know everything about this. Um, I don't know. I work on my videos a lot, and I think about every second a lot, and I work into every second a lot. So something that for you may look like a small thing, um, maybe it had a lot of work into that, or maybe I didn't do the most efficient thing because I had this idea for content, right? I had this idea, but I thought it would be more fun for the video to do this other thing that maybe it's not as efficient, but you know, it gives me an excuse to do this other thing or to go and talk with this guy from the server or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. Um, nothing. I feel like that's why like it's also valuable the the point of view of somebody that has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to know how to take the feedback, right? It's not just okay. Somebody says that something you did sucks. Like okay, oh dude, this sucks. No, like you need to know where they're coming from, what they're thinking, what their point of view is,
Mm-hmm.
what things are they considering or not considering, or yeah.
Yeah,
Because if not,
absolutely.
you'll just go crazy.
Yeah, well, it's so easy, I think, for people to be very negative on the internet, which we talked about earlier. And especially with content creation, there seems to be like a very pervasive attitude that, oh, well, if you're putting things out there, then you have opened yourself to criticism. You should be okay with it because you've posted a video. And I mean, yes, in some way, yes. If I've posted a video out on the
I
internet,
mean,
I have opened myself to criticism. But there's a difference between like a constructive criticism and just like a very negative, unhelpful feedback, like a very
yeah,
negative,
no, there's a
unhelpful
difference.
criticism.
There's a difference between criticism and just like an attack,
Yeah.
right? That's the because the criticism is okay, but not every comedy is criticism. Um, and people that are saying, if I like, I never had anybody tell me that, but I can see why you, oh,
Oh,
why you
quick swim
somebody could
break.
tell that to you. Like if they are saying, oh, you should, if you know, if you are not able to deal with criticism, you should not put yourself out there. No, dude, you are just flat out insulting me or like disrespecting me or like crossing a boundary. Like you are not being a good person. Like no, it's not about me. Don't try to. No, you are being terrible here, and that's why we have the ability to ban, which I think is great
Oh yeah.
because it's terrible having to ban, but it's such a good way to polish your experience as a creator,
Mm-hmm.
because there's people that are not going to respect your boundaries, and sometimes
Exactly.
it's not because they are evil. It's just I don't know, they're in their own life doing whatever, and they just write stuff without thinking too much because for them it's just a silly Minecraft stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but I don't know, like, okay, you said you crossed a line here. You nothing. You are overstepping my boundaries, and my boundaries are clear in like my rules. You broke the rules flat out. Goodbye. Like this is not a place for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it all
Um,
comes back to community management. I actually, this is
yes.
really funny that we're talking about this because recently I was on a bit of a soapbox about this exact topic, kind of, which is something I fell into. I'm sure of, and a lot of new creators do, which is they get people who come into their streams and they do kind of violate their boundaries. They don't follow the rules, and they're so worried about having an active chatter that they won't ban the person who's making them feel terrible and is, being rude to them. And I feel like it's like the biggest mistake that I see new creators making, because
Yes.
you
Yeah.
want to foster and build a
100%.
community that's going to be supportive of you and is going to respect the rules and it's going to be the type of community that you would want to be a part of. So you can't allow
Exactly. You
people
are
to run all
focusing.
over you.
Yes, you are focusing too much on the short term and not on the long term. I
Yes,
feel because
exactly.
that person, like, you don't want that person around. That person is clearly overstepping your boundaries. Like, you really want to have them there day after day after day. Like, really, like, it's not going to create a good experience. And of
Yes.
course, there's nuance to everything, and you need to like like you need to judge. It's not like everybody that says something negative gets banned. Like you need to see where people are coming from or whatever. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like yes, many new content creators they just focus on accepting everyone, that and they take a lot of like punches to the face. And I don't know
Yeah.
how else to say it, right?
Yeah,
And
that they
like
don't
no,
need
that's not.
to.
Yeah, like I don't know. If you want to do this, because I see content creation as a long term game. Like, yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
may do well in the short term. I've been doing this for years now. I don't know how long Small Cat, but since the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
which is I don't know how like 4 years or something like that. And like, if I had done that, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
It's just
No.
not possible.
I agree 100%. And it's the nuance of it is super important. Like for example, I have one person in my community that's been there basically actually since I started streaming. They were one of the first people to come into my streams, and one of the first things they said to me in the stream was like, "Hey, like your mic." is really making a lot of crackling noise. Like, you should maybe figure that out. And to be fair, they were right. It sounded really bad. And I said like, oh, okay, yeah, like I'll look into it. Like I just was like, oh, okay, this person's kind of saying like my mic sounds terrible, but you know, maybe they're right. And they were. And so I fixed it, and they are now one of the longest community members I have, and are I count them as a good friend. And they've given me very honest but fair feedback since I've known them. So
There
it's
you
that sort
go.
of
Like
thing of, you
that's
know, finding the type of people who are giving you feedback to help lift you up, you know?
exactly like that's I don't know if you because there's a difference. There's a difference between like I feel like there's people that can't take criticism, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like they can take like if I like as you said, if I tell you that your microphone is crackling, like it's not that I'm insulting you. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm warning you about like an actual issue that your stream was having. That if you could solve, your stream will be better,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's good. That's good criticism. If you take any all criticism as a bad thing, yes, you are not going to grow, or you're going not going to grow as fast
Mm-hmm.
um, as you maybe could. Like if you had never fixed your microphone, you will have a terrible microphone, and
Yeah.
that person told you. But there's a lot of people like this is something that you learn from YouTube. Like the most powerful feedback that you get is the retention graph,
Mm-hmm.
because most of the people like if you rely too much on the comments, they like usually people comment to say two things. One, like I really enjoy your video, this is great, which feels good, but it's like it's not that productive. You can't like act on that. Or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you suck, like 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 a straight insult, right? um but the people that get bored from your video, they don't stop and write a comment, they just leave,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what they do. They just start watching your video, they get bored, and they just leave the video. They don't leave it. They never tell you why, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that person that was listening to your stream, they took the care to tell you what was going on.
Yeah.
Like they thought that it mattered to tell you what was going on and how to improve your stream. So I think that's valuable.
No, I agree. I'm glad they told me, and you're very right about the retention graph on YouTube. That is such a powerful tool for a new creator, and I think it's very underutilized, because if you look at your retention graph for a video you posted and you see a very stark drop off at a point, you know that there's something going on.
No, but I was at one point. I like at the beginning. Like there's this whole culture of don't look at stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think to a certain extent it's healthy. Like I don't watch my live. I have my view count hidden, for example. I can go and check it, but OBS has an option where you can hide it, so it's not always there. And you have
Mm-hmm.
to take a conscious action of checking it. And I feel like that's good, but also like I don't know, analytics are really they are data. They are actual factual data about your stuff, hard and cold data. Okay, like my intro, like there's like 60% of the people are out of my video in the first 30 seconds, right? Like that means something.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that you are not doing right, and that is feedback that is actionable feedback. Okay, I need to improve my intros, or I need to do this, or I need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, nothing. Like you need to be able to take criticism. Yes, that is true. You need to be able to admit that what you are doing, like you could be doing the stuff you are doing better, 100%. That doesn't
Exactly.
mean that you can come to my stream and call me whatever, right? Like you can't just outright insult me. No, that's not it.
Mm-hmm. These
Okay, I'm gonna
pancakes
eat
are very
some of the
good.
fishes
Sorry.
that I
If
got.
you need food, I have food.
No, I have raw fish that I just got. I
Yummy.
am self-sufficient.
That's fair. I've seen you fight three wardens at once. Or not three wardens, I'm sorry, three withers at once, so I would hope that you could handle a couple of sky
Yeah.
pancakes. There we go. Nice and safe in daytime. All right, Bruno. Well, we are well over an hour. Thank you
Yes.
so much for taking the time to talk with me. It was really interesting. And I hope you had a good
Eh,
time.
I did have a great time. Thank you so much, Small Cats, for the fish interview. I got a lot of stuff from my fishing.
Excellent. Before we kind
I
of look at
got
our fishing loot, do you want to tell people where
yeah.
they can find you out on the internet really quick?
Oh yeah, I have. You can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter, uh, even on Patreon, on all on under the same. I did my branding really well. I got my name on everything. It's Bruno. It's my IGN. If you look at me right now, small over here, there we go. I'm advertising right now. Like, it's all my name.
Self promo
Brun-
in my fish review?
BrunoDanUy, like on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter, or on Patreon, and everything. It's just me. Like you can find me there if you want to see my stuff. Um, just go over there. Like nothing. I hope you enjoy what you find. I work hard on trying to make stuff that is enjoyable. So nothing. I think you'll find something that you enjoy. Maybe.
Absolutely. Well, yes, thank you so much, Bruno. And so, what did you get good? Did you get anything kind of interesting from your fish review loot?
I got 3 books, 3 enchanted books. Among all the like this, I think is the most valuable thing. Like I got a Nautilus shell, I got a Power 4 book, a Punch 1, Loyalty 3, Bane of Arthros 4. That one's kind of useless. Efficiency 3, Loyalty 3, and Sharpness 3. Okay. Let me see the bows. Infinity and Punch bow. And Punch bow. Okay, no. And this. But
Ooh,
you know,
very nice.
I'll let you have everything if you want.
Well, we have some barrels over there if you want to throw your
Oh,
things
okay.
into those. I'm going to have to come up with a better system because we're quickly running out of space. But yeah, everyone's been throwing their things in there. But yeah, I got a
Okay.
lot of fish. I got some lily pads. I also got a couple of nautilus shells, and I got a lot of puffer fish. But I didn't really get anything good. I got like 2 broken fishing rods that don't really have any durability, which not the most useful item. But what do you do?
Okay, I'm
Sometimes
gonna put everything
it's
here.
not about catching the fish; it's about fishing. Or what was it we
Yes,
said
and I had a
earlier? It's
great time. Exactly. I had a great time fishing, Small Cats. Thank you so much.
yeah. Thank you, Bruno. It was awesome. All right. Bye bye.